So right now, I'm going to introduce Fernando Machado. He's a global marketer, I'm sure we're all aware of, with a passion for growing brands and businesses. With more than 120 Cannes Lions, including 5 Grand Prix, 16 D&D yellow pencils, and 1 Grandy for McWhopper, and 2 Grand Effies in North America, Fernando is known for pushing the creative boundaries to drive business growth. I'm just saying. Creativity to drive business growth. Currently, as global CMO at Burger King, Fernando's focus is infusing the brand with purpose, modernizing the design and inspiring the organization around brand development. Prior to joining Burger King, Fernando worked for 18 years at Unilever. So everyone remembers Dove's sketches. During Fernando's talk, please go to the app and post your questions you may have for him. We've got 30 minutes with him afterwards. We linked up with him and we're going to get him to answer all our questions. So we've got him for half an hour. Click on the live feed in the event guide. You'll see the Q&A session for Fernando. Click on the session and this will allow you to post the questions, which we can select from this side then and ask him on behalf of you. Fernando's key learning from lockdown is that we can still be very effective while working remotely, as we can see today. And that the blend of personal and professional lives caused by the need to work while juggling personal life as the backdrop of all our video conferences will surely help accelerate an even more authentic, personal and empathetic leadership style. I so agree with it when we see our kids and our dogs in our meetings nowadays. So welcome to the global CMO for Burger King, who will now be sharing his thoughts on creativity as a source of competitive advantage.
Hi there, my name is Fernando Machado and I am the Global CMO for Restaurant Brands International. We have 3 brands here at Restaurant Brands International. We have Burger King, which is the largest brand. We have Popeyes, which is a chicken brand, and we have Tim Hortons, which is a coffee and baked goods brand that's very strong in Canada. Thanks for the invitation to come and present at your event. I mean, it's a shame I couldn't make it to South Africa. Like, it's one of my favorite places. I was there during the World Cup. Not so great memories of the games, but great memories of the country. And in my previous life, while working for Unilever, I was managing Vaseline, and I used to come quite often to visit South Africa. So it's a country that is very close to me, and I always have a good time when I come and visit you guys in person. Hopefully soon enough that it will be possible again. So today I'm here to talk a little bit about how, especially in the case of Burger King, because I'm going to use lots of examples from Burger King, how we consider creativity as a source of competitive advantage. We really tap into creativity, and we are known for doing things that go above and beyond the norm, sometimes a little bit edgy, in order to achieve a better result. Reality is that Burger King is not the largest brand in the fast food arena, so anything that we do, it needs to stand out. And creativity for us is kind of like that dollar multiplier on the media plan that makes people notice, talk about, and share the ideas that we do. So let's just go into it, and we're going to start with a little quiz. I will give you guys 2 options, option A and option B. Around 2 years ago, we are launching mobile order and payment in our app. Big deal for us because it took some time to get that coded and get that sorted in the system, but not such a big deal for people out there because there were so many other brands that were already doing that. So we had 2 options on how to launch. Option A, you download the app and then on your first order, you get a free Whopper. It's like pretty good, simple, straightforward deal without much friction, right? Giving away our key product, you just have to download the app and make the order using the app. Or option B, which was download the app, put your credit card details in the app, drive to a McDonald's, order from there for just 1 cent, so you have to pay 1 cent on your credit card, then drive to a Burger King and pick it up. What? Option B is so much more complex, there is so much more friction, it's never going to work. Well, we did option A, McDonald's did option A, Wendy's did option A, Chick-fil-A did option A, everyone I know did option A. It probably didn't work. I mean, that definitely didn't work well for us. I mean, you probably haven't heard about the fact that we did at some point to download the app and get a free Whopper, because that's what is expected. That's what's plain vanilla, like the obvious. And the type of fan that we have for our brand is expecting more from the brand. We are a brand that's bold, edgy, that likes to do things differently, so it's self-deprecating, fun. So option B worked better. And I will show you guys the case study for that.
Burger King wants you to come here. Yes to McDonald's.
Burger King is trolling its fast food rival
with a promotion available through the Burger King mobile app.
Yeah, but there is a small catch.
So I saw this Burger King commercial where you could
get a Whopper for a penny.
Only if you open the app while you're at McDonald's.
That doesn't even make sense. You have to go to McDonald's for a Whopper?
Whopper.
use Burger King's BK app, then be within 600 feet of a McDonald's restaurant.
Burger King geofenced over 14,000
McDonald's restaurants in the U.S.
Unbelievable.
So I've parked my news car about 100 feet from a McDonald's.
I'm at McDonald's getting a coupon for Burger King. I almost feel like I'm stealing.
Let's go for the unlock.
Yes!
You unlocked the Whopper detour.
This is a really cool promo, guys. How fun is this?
That's crazy.
Nice.
That's so horrible.
That's funny.
This is an amazing use of technology to get consumers out of a rival store and into your own store.
Can you do a Whopper Jr.?
They probably could make that. It wouldn't be as good as Burger King would, to be honest with you.
Okay, where's the Burger King?
Like 4 blocks to your left.
So it's crazy, right? How like something that at first would sound so complicated and would sound like that people would never engage because you're putting a burden on people actually works so well. This campaign is one of the campaigns that had the best return on investment for our brand. You know, like we are really known for creativity, but like we are known for creativity that deliver results. You know, as a CMO, you would probably not survive for more than 6 months if you're doing cool stuff but not driving results. And the things that we do, they really drive strong results. Let me give you another example that shows how creativity can be a source of competitive advantage. We've been working in terms of cleaning up our products in the portfolio, not just for BK, but for the 3 brands that we have for quite some time. Now, when I say cleaning up, is removing artificial colors, artificial flavors, preservatives, fillers. Like really, like that's one of the main barriers that fast food has. You know, people want to eat real food. You know, they are okay if you're serving something that's indulgent, as long as it's something that's real. You know, like, and fast food has the bad rap of like being like crappy food, probably because people used all this stuff that's not real to increase shelf life, to make it cheaper, to make people like more the taste. But like, if you really want to be relevant 10 years from now in this category, you probably need to be doing more of like serving real food. So we embarked on this journey around 4 or 5 years ago. It's not easy to do it. I mean, every time you remove something that's artificial and put in something that's real, it does affect the taste, it does affect the cost, it affects the consistency, it affects operations, it affects shelf life. So if it were easy, everyone would be doing. So it's really not easy to do that. But we decided to take that journey, and we made like an amazing progress when it comes to serving real food. In most countries in Europe, I think probably in all European countries, we already serve all our sandwiches and sides are free from colors, flavors, and preservatives from artificial sources. In the US, we are going like into the same path, and by the end of the year, again, like all our stuff will be clean. It is already clean in most cases. Same for Latin America, same for Asia Pacific. So it's amazing work, work that's relevant, that comes from understanding what are the barriers for the brand and for the category. But if you go and advertise that, just like showing the burger and talking about how now everything is real and that you remove this and that you remove that, it really falls flat. Why I'm saying that? Because we tested that. We go and test something that's very simple to understand what claims are going to resonate the best. And we actually even tested in-market tests, like by putting a real spot on air, talking very clearly in a very simple way about the work we're doing. And in a focus group, people react well because their span of attention is they're really focusing on that message. But if the message is presented in a boring, flat, plain vanilla way, it doesn't stick, it doesn't stand out. So we had to wrap up and pack this amazing work that we're doing in terms of clean ingredients with a very strong and powerful creative. And again, the creative needs to be linked to the values and personality and how the brand behaves. Burger King is self-deprecating, bold, edgy, fun, different. We are really not afraid of going and doing something different. And that has been the case historically. So one of the campaigns that I'm most proud of is Moldy Whopper. Okay, so let me play to you guys. I probably don't have time to play the whole case study. Let's see when we edit the video. But let's play the film for you guys to see.
Fast food, an industry that offers convenient, craveable food at a good value. But
you put out a big and you could keep it there forever, right?
Right here. No fungus, no mold, no smell.
Why is there no mold on that?
well, because of all the stuff we put in our food.
What we put in our bodies.
It's time to change that.
What a difference a day made.
Burger King is rethinking the image of its signature Whopper burger.
They're turning a lot of heads with a new ad, and maybe some stomachs too.
Showing that mold can be a beautiful thing.
It shows a moldy Whopper as a way to announce that the fast food chain will no longer put preservatives in their food.
The beauty
of no artificial preservatives.
I think it's great. It's very risky, but I think it's a really neat commercial.
It's fascinating and gross at the same time. When I watch this, I'm like, I can't unsee this, but also I can't stop watching it.
When one company makes a decision like this, it certainly have ripples effects across the whole industry.
So is this really the best way to sell a burger?
Well, I know the difference in you.
Look, they're taking out preservatives. This is the real deal.
I think it really speaks to the fact that companies are hearing this huge tectonic shift of customers asking real questions about what's in their food.
They're removing preservatives because they feel real food tastes better.
The difference is you.
So again here, like completely crazy, right? Show a burger, not just a burger, the Whopper, which is our most iconic product, decomposing in front of the camera to make a point about the fact that our product is real. You know, this campaign was talked about like everywhere. If you haven't seen this film before, you probably live under a rock because it was like everywhere. It had more than 8 billion with B impressions, like contrary to what many people thought. The sentiment around the campaign was positive, and it really pushed some of the attributes of the brand to become positive. You know, like we had an increase in terms of how people feel about how good people feel about our food. It was more than 20%. We had an increase in terms of understanding that Burger King has real ingredients like we never had before. Like even when we advertise those things, we had an increase, which is very important in terms of consideration consider to visit the brand, which usually translates well in sales. We sold more. I can finally talk about that because like when we did the campaign, I couldn't talk about sales since it was before we published the Q1 results. So look, I mean, of course it got criticized by some, but like anything that you do that stands out will get criticized by some. I prefer that than no one criticizes what we do because no one cares and no one saw it. So again here, creativity as a source of competitive advantage, creativity associated to data, because we identify the opportunity by looking at the habits and attitudes and the barriers and triggers of our brand and of the category, and creativity that produces like a stronger output than had you done something that was not creative. So let me give you another case. It's one of my favorite cases in terms of like technology, innovation, and creative. So this case started like in Mexico. So like it's a campaign and an idea that was born in Mexico. We were having a meeting talking about delivery. Delivery is growing a lot all across the globe, powered by like the digital, like and e-commerce, but also by the aggregators like the Uber Eats of this world, or Grubhub, or DoorDash, Postmates. There are so many. Deliveroo, depends on the country you are in. You probably have like a couple of different ones, but delivery is growing a lot. And in Mexico, it was not growing as fast as we were hoping for when comparing to other markets around of the same region, or even the US or Europe. And we were brainstorming and discussing like why we thought that was the case. And one of the reasons that we identified was the fact that the traffic in Mexico is terrible. You know, like I lived in Mexico 2 years, and I lived that like firsthand. I had firsthand experience on how bad it is. I'm Brazilian, but it makes the traffic from São Paulo look like a piece of cake because it's really, really bad. I mean, there is data that shows that it's the worst traffic in the world. And then people were like stuck in traffic jam, and they don't know what time they are going to arrive home, and sometimes they arrive home and the restaurants are already closed, or sometimes they arrive home and they're so tired that they just like don't feel like waiting even more to order food. They just grab something on the fridge and get it sorted. So during this meeting, someone raised their hand and said like, look, what if we serve delivery to people in the traffic jam? Well, it's something that like the traffic jam is so bad and people are stuck for so long on those cars that like you have like people selling stuff or like walking on the street, even if it's a highway, not a highway, but like even it's one of the main streets from Mexico, because it's literally like it stops. So we look at each other and it's like, how the hell we are going to do that? How I'm going to identify the car and it's moving, and what if like suddenly the traffic clears up and we are on our way to deliver the order, and this person like basically like escapes from the traffic jam, and how the person is going to order if they cannot like hold the phone because it's illegal to have the phone or talk over the phone when you're driving, and all this uncertainty and all this discussions only got us more excited about the idea, because like when we don't know how to do things, that's when we get excited about an idea, because it means that it was never done before, or that at least we haven't done before, and we have done so many different things that like just thinking that, well, we haven't done that before, so probably has not been done before, so let's do it and let's learn from it, and I'm sure we're going to use that learning somewhere else. And that was Traffic Jam Whopper. I will definitely play that case study for you.
The Traffic Jam Whopper. We used real-time data from mobile phones to detect our potential buyers in a traffic jam, to offer them a Whopper and deliver on the move.
Fernanda, buenos días. Eduardo, buenas tardes.
¡Ay, qué bello!
Llegaste en chinga, cabrón. Cagaba de hambre.
Our media was 100% dynamic, promoting our service exactly where drivers were stuck and eager to get a Whopper. By leveraging traffic and drivers' real-time data, we adjusted our digital billboards placement and content. The messages displayed information about the remaining time in traffic to order and personalized updates about deliveries in progress. Also, Waze banner ads and push notifications invited drivers to use the service as soon as they entered our delivery zones. People were able to use voice commands to place the order and avoid tickets. Finally, using the latest Google Maps APIs, our app pinpointed vehicle location and speed in order to deliver, for the first time ever, to a driver on the move. The delivery zones changed, following the traffic lock, making our service available when a gridlock was identified, always within a 3-kilometer radius from the restaurants.
Hola Mariana, ¿cómo estás?
Ay, te agarraría besos.
Lo siento, estoy en servicio.
In just 1 week, we increased delivery orders by 63%. And our daily app download rate increased 44 times, becoming the #1 fast food app, surpassing McDonald's, Domino's, and Starbucks in Mexico. Coming soon, Los Angeles, San Paulo, and Shanghai. The Traffic Jam Whopper.
Enjoy the traffic jam.
So as I said, we learned so much from Traffic Jam Whopper. Like it really changed the way we think today about like a CRM, the way we think about geolocation, the way we think about like buying media. That's kind of like on urban centers because you can buy a lot of digital media and make it more interactive. That's what we've learned, and we are now using that learning on other things. Same with Whopper the Tour, you know. Same with Modi Whopper. Modi Whopper was not a stunt. Same with Whopper the Tour. By the way, we really use the learning from Whopper the Tour on our CRM program and kind of like keeping people coming and being active on our app. And keeping them coming from more and coming more frequently. So that's why you need to do these ideas that really push the boundaries. And it's all about results. You know, like we get a lot of like recognition from award shows, from creative award shows, in terms of the work we do. You know, and you can clearly see that Burger King is a brand that has been winning. And I'm using here Cannes as an example. I could have picked a different award show, but I think most marketeers relate very strongly to Cannes, so I picked Cannes. And you can see how Burger King is a brand that has been winning in Cannes for a very long time. But how like we had like a dry period, like in the 5 years before 2014. And then we started to do the work that we're doing now, and you see how it completely ramped up. You know, like, and again, like if you're like me or like our company that believes that creativity can lead to a strong result, you can truly connect those two things. You know, creative recognition and results. Unfortunately, my salary and my bonus are not paid in Cannes Lions. I wish. So let me show you the other chart that shows the business results. And again, like you can see here, like we were growing like low single digit. And as we start to do better creative work, we start to grow like high single digit or double digit. This number that I'm showing you here is total sales for Burger King globally, which by the way, during 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 and 19, we've grown more in percentage terms than my main competitor. Okay, like I don't have this chart here on the presentation, but if you're curious, you can tweet to me and I can share with you that one. But that's the thing, you know, like creativity helps you achieve something that's better than if you do something that's flat. You know, that's plain vanilla, that will not get talked about and will not get noticed. So just to wrap it up, let me share with you my kind of like the key learnings and the key, like if you were to take something out of this presentation, I would focus on these 5 learnings, right? So the first one is that creativity has the power to bend reality. You know, like if I told you option A and option B of the Whopper the Tour case without having the case of, without executing the campaign or out of the context of a presentation around creativity, most people would probably pick option A. And the idea basically changed everything. Yeah, so think about that. Sometimes a creative can really help you bend reality. The second thought that I want to share is that, and I love this one, if it looks like an ad, if it smells like an ad, if it sounds like an ad, it's probably not a good ad. There is only one occasion when people want to watch ads. Probably it's like on the Super Bowl. Maybe there is more than one. Maybe the John Lewis ads of the end of the year. People are excited about watching those too. But normally people are not excited to watch ads. You are not excited to watch ads. And the examples I shown you, they are ads, but they are not ads. How would you, in which category would you put something like Whopper the Tour or Traffic Jam Whopper? It's really hard to put them in a category, in a bucket. And those are the ideas that for us tend to work the best. Ideas that are so big and so bold that they're even hard to categorize. So thought number 3, no budget, no problem. Well, to some extent, but most of the cases that we have on Burger King, Popeyes, and Tim Hortons, they were not outrageously expensive. Usually what's expensive is the media plan. It's not producing the thing. And in our case, we try to go for ideas that will get so much talked about, so much shared and covered by the press, which is kind of earned media, that we can sometimes even dial down the media plan, or sometimes you have just a little bit, just to have the spark to ignite the fire. I think that when you have something that's boring or not so creative, then it's expensive because you need to put a lot of money in terms of the media plan, in terms of the paid media, for people to even notice that thing existed. And if you are in this journey of trying to do more creative things, start small. I think tech and digital allow you to do things in smaller scale that can create a big impact. But start. I think that's kind of one of the key thoughts too. I touched on this one, stretch and learn. Stretch and learn is Whopper the Tour. It was a stretch for us. The first time I've heard about the idea, I was how the hell are we going to do this? Same for Traffic Jam Whopper. No, what? Deliver to a car on the traffic jam? How the hell do you do that? And we were able to pull it off. So, and because we stretched, we've learned. And now we are using that learning in other places. And then finally, I love this image. There's a story behind this image. This is something that was done by Duchamp a long time ago. I don't quote me on the year, but I think it was 57. But I will Google. You should Google that one. And Duchamp created this upside down urinal and brought to the museum, and there was a huge debate on whether that should be considered a piece of art or not. The debate continues. It's a famous piece of modern art, and I have it here because I think that we at least us here, we really strive to try to do things first. And if it's something that has been done before, we tend to lose interest, and we approach things that way because and that's the kind of the cool story or the funny story, let's say, if you are the first person bringing a urinal, an upside down urinal to a museum, you are probably an artist. But if you're the second, you are probably the plumber. And nothing against plumbers, but if I could choose between being an artist or being a plumber, I would probably pick the artist. So guys, creativity matters. Stay creative. Hopefully this presentation will help you get even more excited and create great work out of your brands, out of your companies, and out of your agency. Thank you so much. My name is Fernando Machado, Global CMO from Restaurant Brands International, and hopefully we'll be able to see each other soon. Thank you.
Wow.
Hey there.
Okay. I don't want to waste too much time. I will get into the questions. Fernando, thank you very much. I'm standing here, I'm going, is this man a creative director or is he a marketing director? Because he sure speaks like a creative director. Thank you very much for your presentation. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to go jump straight into questions and you can fend it. The first one I'm going to take off my phone. Someone took the liberty. Most of your work is outstanding, precisely because it's brave and it's never been done before. What is your view on marketers who use research to limit work and to stick to doing things that people have seen?
So, hi everyone. Thanks for having me. Don't get it wrong. I do research too every now and then. I'm not against research. I'm against doing research and excluding all your thinking and just acting exactly on what's written on the research. I think marketing is logic and magic. You need both things to come together, and that's why you have a marketing team. Else, just have a research team. So I have no issue with doing research. I have only an issue when people don't think, and they just do whatever the research says they should do.
Love that. Thank you very much for that. Balance.
Yeah.
Okay, second question. Burger King is well known for sort of hazing going at McDonald's. And the question is, what's the formula for balancing competitiveness without looking like jerks?
Oh, that's a good one. So I think it depends on what brand you are. In our case, fast food is a fun category, and we want to be a fun brand in a fun category. You know, like you go to any fast food chain, people are having fun. You have families, you have kids, you have like young adults, you have older people, and it's always like a celebration. You know. So we are the type of brand which is fun in a fun category. We are self-deprecating. We are not afraid of cracking a joke. We are not afraid of taking jokes when people make jokes about us, because I think that you need to go both ways. So when we poke fun at a competitor like McDonald's, it's not done in an aggressive way. You know what I mean? Like think about you and your friends. You know, like you guys I make fun of my friends. They make fun of me. You know, like that's kind of like how friends go. And I know that in South Africa, like that's the spirit. It's optimistic. You know what I mean? Like people like to play. So and I don't think my friends are jerks most of the time. So that's what we try to do. We try to strike that balance of being fun, taking jokes. When we make fun or poke fun at a competitor, it's not like a punch. You know what I mean? Like it's more like having fun. And I think that every time competitors engage with us on that game in social media, and there were many examples of that with McDonald's, KFC, Wendy's, consumers like, you know, our brand fans like, and that's good for the category. So, and that's why we do it.
I agree. Business often should be more like sport, you know, and sport is fun and branding is fun. So the next question, a lot of people on Twitter picked up behind in your video, behind your desk, you had your little plaque, make epic stuff.
Yeah, it's here. I'm even wearing the same shirt.
That's the one. So there we go. So the question is, how do you permeate that mindset into the rest of your marketing team and also into your agencies to keep that standard?
Yeah. So it takes time. It's a journey, you know. Like on the first year, I've been on Burger King for almost 7 years now. When I came, it was just Burger King. Now it's Burger King, Popeyes, and Tim Hortons. But like in the beginning, we did like one great campaign on first year, you know, like, and it was just in the US. It was not really like a global thing. Then on year two, people start to see the consistency of the work. We started to build a stronger credibility on the work that we were doing. So we had more countries joining the party. So we did like 3 or 4 campaigns. Then on year 3, we did more countries, more campaigns. And now it's on year 7, we do almost like 1 big idea per week or 2. You know, like it became a machine. I have a WhatsApp group on my phone with 150 marketeers. I talk to agencies all the time. Like David Miami, which is one of our key agencies here in the US, At some point, I had a badge from the agency. I had a desk at the agency. You can only foster that culture and that mindset if you're present and if you're working together collaboratively, if you're patient, if you bring along people with you. And I feel that today we have a really strong marketing team that shares the same creative ambition. Maybe not everyone the same level of experience, but everyone with the same ambition, very strong understanding of what the brand is about, especially the tone of voice of the brand. And I see the agency partners that we have as part of the team. So when I'm talking about the team, is agency, client, it doesn't really matter. For the consumer, it doesn't matter. So I make no distinction. They are my team, even if they are like a franchisee or an agency. But it takes time to build that culture.
That's great. Thanks, Fernando.
The important thing is to start. Yeah, you have to start.
Yeah, you have to start. So I just want to quickly pick up on that point. And I want to make the point, we're in year 7 of a certain relationship, and we're only at one big idea per year. So I think that's a bit of a challenge to ourselves. Listening, you talking about 52 big ideas a year at the moment, and we're at 1. The next question, we've got about 1,050 delegates in this meeting at the moment. We ran a poll earlier on where the question was, does award-winning work sells? And I know you touched on it. I just want to hear it from your mouth again, your answer. Because 45% of all the people in our marketing fraternity believes it doesn't. So I just want to hear your point of view from your mouth again.
So the main shareholder of RBI, which is the company I work for, is 3G Capital. So it's a private equity company. I've been here for almost 7 years now. I don't think I would have lasted 6 months if I didn't deliver results. And my bosses or the guys on the private equity sector, they probably couldn't care less about awards or anything like that. I care, and I can explain why, because there is a side effect to that. But my point is, I think that something that's more creative will deliver a better result than something that's not creative. And honestly, if you don't believe on that and you work in marketing, you will probably struggle on the long run. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that everything that you do will sell. I think that different things have different objectives, right? I think that the main challenge that we have as marketeers and especially as CMOs is finding that right balance of like delivering sales on the short term and building the brand for the long run. I remember Jonathan Middlehall, when he was at Coca-Cola, he used to say, sales is our duty, but building the brand is our legacy, right? In my industry, or even in fast-moving consumer goods, which is where I was before, the thing that delivers the best sales is a promotion. So if you're only wanting to sell, you will kill your brand in 10 years or less, because you're going to just promote price, buy 2, get 1 free, you know. That sells, and it doesn't even have to be that creative. I have a fraction of the budget of my biggest competitor. I am 1/4 of their size. So creativity for me is what makes my brand bigger than what it is. You know, it's a shortcut and it's a dollar multiplier on my media money. Yeah. And in terms of awards, like I'm very flattered and proud for the awards we've got. It doesn't change my bonus. It doesn't change in theory my result. But I can tell you something. There are many clients out there that are not great. And my agency or our agency partners know the type of client we are. And they are very interested in doing a work that gets recognized because it's good for their career. If you're a young creative, that can be a game changer for your career. So when they see us as the client that we are, they end up spending a disproportionate amount of time thinking about us because they know that we are going to get the work out. Like we're not going to kill the work by 1,000 paper cuts or like having to approve the work with 3 billion people internally. We are very nimble, very fast, decisive, and I take accountability and I call for the ball, and we do it. And because of that, it creates this virtual cycle where we do good work, we get recognized as being a client that does good work by awards, and then we have even more work, more ideas coming our direction because the creatives think about us because they see us as a good client. So I believe in creativity. All the best business results I've got were with things that were creative. The best year I had in Unilever in terms of business results was the year we did sketches. And here we've outgrown my main competitor every year for the past, since 2014, which is when I started, like every year on total system-wide sales in growth. And we did that by fixing a lot of business fundamentals, but by being very creative too. Yeah, like look, it's very simple. What do you prefer, to do something that's creative or something that's not creative? Like I'll prefer to do something that's creative. Like that gives you more upside in terms of growth.
100%. I mean, I'm so aligned with that, and it's always just how do you shift people to get there? Because also I believe, you've got one life, let's make it fun. And it seems like you have. I was just tweeting to my people on our hotline when you were speaking in your presentation, this man is having fun. You can see he's having fun. I can see it in your office. I can see it in the context of your room. That's amazing. Thanks for that feedback. I found I'm a creative leader, and stepping into creativity was a huge step for me to take. It's very easy to make excuses. I'm not knocking this question because I know it starts with ourselves. But the next question is, how do you do something brave when your company is run by risk-averse people?
Yeah, it's a question that I get a lot. Around 2002, 2003, when I was in Unilever, I was in Mexico for 2 years. I was managing skincare for Latin America. And the office was in close to Acapulco. It was not like in the Mexico City, yeah? And in Acapulco, there is a place where these guys jump from a massive cliff in a very small piece of water. It's on the sea, but it's a cliff that it looks really scary. When you look. And the guys are famous. They're the divers from Acapulco. They are jumping there. People clap. It's awesome. And I always tell people that I always ask, do you think that his first jump was from up there? No, it wasn't. The first jump was probably 1 meter from the water. And then over the course of 5-10 years, he goes increasing the height until jumping from the top of that cliff doesn't look as scary anymore. So that's why I always say to people, start. You're not going to start by doing a crazy Super Bowl ad. I didn't start by doing Emoji Whopper or doing Whopper the Tour. I've been here for 6-7 years, and over the course of that time, fortunately, I was able to make the company be more with being uncomfortable. You know what I mean? And we started one. It's really important that you align on the strategy. Yeah, with the company. That's easy to do, by the way. It's not that complicated. Then you define some metrics of success. I want this. Okay, we are going to measure success by measuring this variable. And then you do something small. You do like a radio ad, you do a social media post, you do a small promotion, a small activation, and you prove results. Then you do it again and again. And then you do 2 of those. And then 3. And then it starts to go up on that cliff. You know what I mean? But you have to start. If you want to be a good marketeer, you need to be the change you want to see around you. It would be too easy if you came to a company and said, hey, here, do whatever you want. We are going to back you up. It's never like that. It was not like that here. It surely got easier over time. But because we build the credibility and we show that creativity gives a better result. And then we raise on the cliff, and people started to be more comfortable with it. But it's a journey, start jumping 1 meter first, but find a way to jump that meter,
Yeah, that's a beautiful metaphor. Lovely. I think
it's a long answer.
No, it's like what sticks in my mind instantly is the metaphor that you're giving, and it links in with your presentation at the start. But I think what you also gave us there, which I find very powerful, is we don't often link it to a measurable. So to link it with a result, to show proof that it works, to get that buy-in, because I think people need to see the proof that it actually works, So I think that little metrics that you gave us there is also very powerful. So thank you for that. So Fernando, we see all your big work from South Africa, obviously through the CAN platform and the other international awards platform. So we see all the big stuff. We're not in the market. So just out of interest, one of the questions is, what percentage of that, your total budget, which is a quarter of your bigger competitors, but what percentage of that goes behind the big work that we see? And what goes behind all which I have to assume are the more retail work, the price and product? Just to give us a bit of an insight.
Yeah, so that split varies a lot depending on the product category you are, right? In our case, it's a super competitive category. It's like a retail. Yeah, it's not like when I was in Unilever that I advertise a product and then you can go to any supermarket, and buy. In my case, I need to do something that you need to enter your car and drive to a Burger King. It's a much bigger ask. So it's very and in my category, value, affordability is a very strong attribute. Yeah, we have lots of people who come to it because it's a good value for money. Yeah, so it's a very, very competitive category in all places. If you turn the TV in South Africa, there will be a promotion from KFC, there will be a promotion from McDonald's. In the US, it's the same. Promotion from Wendy's, promotion from KFC, Taco Bell, Domino's, Pizza Hut. It's very promotional. So, that's one thing. The other thing is people don't see is that our best creative work doesn't need a lot of money. It's almost the opposite. The more creative, the more talkability you get, the more shareability you get in social, the less you have to invest. You still have to invest. You cannot cause an explosion without the spark of fire. Yeah, and the spark you need to invest. But if it explodes, I don't need to keep throwing matches with fire if it's already exploded. Mm-hmm. So the investment that we have, it's much higher on the retail part, on the product part, on the day-to-day, on the grinding. But even there, when we do something creative, it works better.
Great.
Than on the stuff that is super creative. I'll give you an example. So today in the US, we are running 2 for $5 promotion. 2 sandwiches for $5. Yeah, we could have gone and said, hey, now you can have 2 sandwiches for $5 and show the sandwiches and show the sandwich beautiful and someone taking a bite. The classic BS advertising for the category. Yeah. But instead, we decided that we are going to celebrate Christmas. So it's Christmas in July, and we did like a whole decoration for Christmas in the restaurants. If you search, it was on Nedbank yesterday, it was on News from Clio yesterday. It was everywhere in the US and Brazil because Burger King is celebrating Christmas in July because we want the year to be over. Because everyone had enough of 2020 already, you know? And that resonates big time with people. And then a promotion that could be something dry and that no one would care, it's something that everyone is talking about. And that's the power of creativity. So even in a promo, you can do something good. There is no excuse. Like anything can be creative. Even if it's like a price promotion, you can make it creative. Will it win awards? I don't care because I'm not doing things for awards, you know? But it's definitely more creative than if you're just doing like a product chart talking about 2 for $5.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I think we've got time for one last question. I can't believe 30 minutes went that fast. I'll wrap it up afterwards, but a quick little insight from your side. Okay, how many minutes? Okay, great. We can go a little bit longer. I've got a bit of time. If you've got...
Stay a bit longer. I'm having fun here.
Oh, you're fine. That's excellent. Thank you. We're very aware of your time. So then I'm just going to go into the next question. In our market, we still work with specialist agencies. We've got the traditional, more above-line agencies doing the traditional media types, then the digital agencies. What is your view on this whole debate between digital and traditional?
We in most markets, we do have the same approach. You know, like we have a digital agency and we have a kind of like I wouldn't even say like above the line because they do everything really. But like I think we have that approach more because of the amount of work we have to get done than because of necessarily the level of how specialist the agency is. You know, when I'm approving ideas, I approve ideas. The discussion about what channel the idea will live in, it's a consequence of the idea. You know, we just have like sometimes different agencies because we have a lot of work. You know, like a Burger King in the US, just as an example, it's our largest market. We probably have like between 30 and 40 different TV spots per year. So it's imagine like it's almost like you need to crack one per week, you know. So you need a dedicated group of people just working on that, and maybe having a separate agency that's managing all the community management online and all this helps because it keeps people focused on what we need. But to me, it's less about being a specialist. It's more about the divide and conquer in terms of keeping people focused, because we usually go for the idea and not for like the channel, you know.
Great. So ideas first, channel second. I like that. Let me see another question. We've got another questions come in. Have you changed your marketing approach because of COVID?
We did. We trashed our entire marketing plan. But like the thing is, we are here. One thing that we do well is that we are very, very fast and nimble. And we are not afraid of throwing work away because it's not expensive to do that. Expensive is to put media on a bad ad. Media is expensive. Producing the ad usually is not that expensive in relation to the media plan. So we changed completely the plan from one day to another. We decided that we are going to change the plan on a Wednesday. On Monday, we're airing a different spot. We are that fast, and we did that because we always believe that it's important to take the context into consideration. Many of the things that we do, they are culturally relevant because they are surfing on a wave of pop culture. And pop culture moves really fast. So if you are not fast, you'll never be able to surf a wave of pop culture. So in our case, we shift investment to do activities to support the community because we felt that was the right thing to do. I didn't do the calculation of ROI. It ended up paying off, but it's just the right thing to do, So in the US, for instance, we created a spot talking that we were donating 1 million kids' meals to families in need because in the US, many kids eat at school and the school was closed. On Popeyes, we donated 1 million family meals to Louisiana, which is where the brand comes from, because that was one of the most affected areas. Tim Hortons, which is a brand that's all about communities, donated coffee and baked goods to healthcare workers and volunteers and first responders. But that's the right thing to do. And that was the first thing we did. Then I had to it varies a lot per country. In the US, we were still open. The dine-in was closed, but the drive-through and the delivery and takeout was open in the restaurants. So I had to explain that to people. So we did a campaign showing the new procedures in the restaurants so that people see that they are safe if they come and that our delivery, drive-through, and takeout are still open. So you know what I mean? We created completely new assets in 1 week. We shot over the weekend. And you have to do that. It wouldn't make any sense to go under that context to communicate that now we have a new bacon sandwich. It would sound super tone deaf. And if you don't have the good thing about doing the work in a nimble, fast way is that the organization builds such a strong muscle that when I have to change course and pivot to something, it's very easy. It doesn't feel pain. Now, if you're not used to do that, it's like if you were like a couch potato and you watch TV and eat on your couch every day, and then the next day you decide to run a marathon, it will be suffering. In our case, we are fit. So it was easier to do the other activity. You know what I mean?
I hear you. We're going to have to work a lot harder on our fitness, I think, as an industry, because I find sometimes the process is extremely laborious and the time to market is so long, and often the market changes by the time you hit the market. But not taking away from the amazing things you've done in this time, I think, again, for me, you highlight a critical point. We tend to forget that the production money or even the agency fee is only 20% maximum of your total spend. The real money is the media. And we should be putting great work into that media to add value to the media. So I think that's a critical point. So thank you for that, Fernando. Let's see.
Look, I'll just say one point to that is if it should be normal for you to trash an ad every now and then. If you're not trashing an ad every now and then, you are probably not pushing yourself to that limit of doing something different. Every year there is a campaign that I think is going to be great, and then we film, we produce, and it's not great. It's just okay. It's okay. But I want to put money behind stuff that's amazing. So if I have to bin a whole campaign because in the end it was not as great as we thought it would be, that's okay. No one's going to lose their job. It's part of the learning process. I remember there is a quote, I think it's from Mario Andretti, it's a Indy car racer. He used to say, if you're always in control, you are not running fast enough. You know what I mean? Like you need to, if you really want to push the envelope in creativity, you need to go on that edge. You know, and sometimes the car will spin, and it's okay. Just course correct and move on.
I'm absolutely inspired. I mean, like also what I hear you say through this conversation and through your presentation, you keep on talking about this thing about growth and your own personal development of yourself and your people, your agencies. And it sounds like when you do this level of work, you are constantly striving to develop the people's ability. And it's amazing. I'm really inspired. I'm concerned to ask you one more question because we're running on about a minute now. But I just want to say, in closing, instead of going for another question, Fernando, I think let's see where the future takes us. It will be amazing to get you to our country in the future, whenever that is, because I think this sort of debate, we can be doing this for much more than an hour. I think there's been huge value for us as an industry, so I thank you for joining us and for your time.
No, it's my total pleasure. I said that on the video, I really enjoy. I will show you something. It's here. Let me show you something. Look at this. This is a frame that I bought in South Africa, which you can see it.
We can see it.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite one. And I remember going to the bar in South Africa and saying, like, I want a black label, and people would look at me like, Look, I went to watch the Soweto Pirates. I remember going to I remember going and visiting poor regions in South Africa. I spent quite some time, I went to Polokwane, Joburg, everywhere. I was there for a month during the World Cup, and I used to go a lot for work. So I was looking forward to being in person with you guys. Unfortunately, it didn't work this year, but I'm totally game for coming next year.
Awesome. We will definitely keep in touch. We are super grateful for your time. When I used to still drink, Carling Black Label was my beer of choice, and I think SA Breweries probably lost quite a lot of turnover when I stopped drinking. But I share that passion there for that beer brand specifically. Thank you. All the very best for your challenges for the rest of this year, which is challenging, I'm sure, in your market too. We are super grateful, and we'll see you when we see you again.
Thank you, guys. Enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Stay safe.